What's going on, guys? Jake Nicolle here. We're jumping right into our market stats. And as always, as you're starting today's video, if you want more information on market stats, check out this video where we show you exactly how to understand what's happening with all these stats. Okay, it is officially January. Welcome to 2023. I'm so stoked to have you here. As we jump into this today, remember, we're looking at December stats. We're comparing it month over month from the month of November over to the month of December and how things have changed. So I'm gonna do things a little bit differently today. What I've got here is a section called Most Notables. And the thing you'll notice right away is sales have reached a 5-year low. So if we take a look at this graph, here's what we're looking at. December 2022, we can see that we had 2,800 sales. If you look at this graph, that is the lowest point on this graph in the last 5 years. So there's been less home sales than there has any other time in the last 5 years. That's pretty wild. That's very low on home sales. The second most notable thing is that sales prices are down 13.2% negative year over year. And that means that our pricing is actually the most similar to January 2021, February 2021. Okay, so that's like a huge 2-year reversal in house prices. All right, next most noticeable thing is while some cities that we're gonna look at today, and it's smaller cities, like if you're looking at Ancaster, Burlington, Oakville, Grimsby, you're looking at these smaller segments of the market, you might be deceived with what's called a false positive, meaning it looks like things have actually bounced back and gone up, when in reality, what's actually happening is there's just so few sales that it causes the illusion that prices have gone up, when really there's so little sales that just a couple sales will cause the price to be inflated. Or for example, maybe that month there was more residential homes selling than there were condos selling, and naturally residential homes are more expensive than condos. So if there's really, really low sales volume, it can cause the numbers to be disturbed and to actually look like they're higher than they are. So keep that in mind as we're going through. And I started by showing you guys how low the sales volume are to help you understand that just because prices look like they're going up in a city, it doesn't mean it if there's not enough sales. For example, if one house sold one month and it was $100,000, and then the next month 2 houses sold and they were both $1 million, well, it's gonna look like the market jumped up like crazy, when in reality, that $100,000 house might have only been worth $100,000, and those $2 million houses might have used to have been worth 1.3 million, but it looks like sales have jumped way up. Makes sense, right? Okay, next, when we're looking at homes for sale, we can see right now that from December of 2019, okay, we have 24% more supply on the market than we had December 19. So 124% more, or plus 24%. Since December 2020, we have, you ready for this? 193.5% more houses for sale, or in other words, 293% more houses sitting on the market than we did December 2020. And this is the crazy one. We have 371% more houses for sale than we did December 2021. In other words, that's 471% total, okay? We're seeing huge numbers in the difference of how much inventory is actually sitting on the market. Like, you look at this and you realize, wow, we've got 3-4 times the number of homes that we did have for sale going back to last year. So we have way more inventory sitting on the market, and we're up on inventory all the way from like December 2019. Let's keep going with this. Days on market reaches the highest it's been since December 2019. So if we go over here to days on market, we can see that in terms of the days on the market, we're at 28 days on the market. That's the highest it's been since December of 2019. Okay, so we're way, way, way up on days on the market. You can see right here is the last time we're at 28 days on the market. And if you're wondering why that's important, all these trends are showing us a couple things. Number one, we have very few sales happening. Number two, our sales prices are down as well. Number three, while it looks like some cities are bouncing back, sales are so low that just a couple expensive sales can appear to boost the value. So some people might be deceived to think the market's bouncing back right now, when it could be a little bit of an illusion. Number 4 is when we look at the homes that are stacking up on the market, we have more homes than have been on the market in quite a little while, and it's reaching the highest days on the market that homes are sitting since all the way back to December 2019. So the market's shifting massively. We're seeing houses sitting for a really long time. They're not selling, they're stacking up, and we're seeing fewer and fewer sales happening. Now we're gonna look at the month-over-month stats. We can see that in all of it, we are down 2.2%, and there's been 2,800 sales. So the market officially, as of November to December, declined 2.2%. Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington, Hamilton, all the way through into the far reaches of Niagara, we're down 2.2%. And in Mississauga, there's only 38 sales. That's unbelievably low, and we're down 11.2%. Now keep in mind, this is not taking into account the Toronto sales that we absolutely wanna know, but we wanna get this video out to you guys sooner so you can see the trends that are happening, Mississauga through all the way into Niagara, but those Toronto stats will change this a little bit. So when we factor in all the Toronto market buyers and sellers, it'll change things a bit. And if you're wondering what I mean by that, what I mean is this: every realtor lists homes on certain boards. A lot of realtors in Mississauga will list houses on the Toronto real estate board rather than the Mississauga real estate board. And we don't have that data yet. It takes a little while to come through. So we need that data to really accurately look at this, but this is a glimpse into what's happening, okay? Out of the people that are selling within Mississauga, it's still down 11.2%. Oakville actually bounced up, so it's 3.8%, but remember, there's only 65 sales. It doesn't take very many really expensive houses to pull up that average. And then in Burlington, we have 98 sales. We're down 4.7%. In Hamilton, we had 180 sales, so double the amount, and we're just down 1.5%. And then in Niagara, we had the most. We had 294 sales, and we're down 4.4%. So across the board, we're down 2.2%. And then you can see city by city, cities like Oakville, it appears to have bounced up almost 4%, but it's such a low sales volume that it's really difficult for us to draw any kind of solid conclusion from that. We just ran through, we looked at all the stuff today. I wanna spend a bit of time looking at the graphs with you to help you understand. All the numbers we just talked about month over month was looking at this graph right here, the median sales price, okay? If I go to new listings, you can see new listings are down, but more important than new listings being down is the actual number of sales are the lowest. So they're way down. And the number of houses for sale, I thought this was really interesting. The number of houses on the market right now is similar to the number of houses that were on the market in the summer of 2020. So here's why that's important, is that usually if we're seeing the number of actual houses available is still really high right now, but it's December, when historically, if you look at these December inflections, you can see usually in December, that's when the lowest number of homes are for sale. We are all the way up in terms of the amount of supply sitting on the market. We're kind of similar to like 2 years ago's summer. That's how many houses we have available right now, which means what is our summer gonna look like? I'd imagine it's gonna jump way up. All these peaks of the most houses available, if you look at this, it's all in the summer because everybody thinks their house looks the best when their garden's been like trimmed and everything looks amazing, when in reality, we are gonna have a ton of inventory on the market and we're gonna see people not selling at the prices they want. So it's gonna be really interesting time. So if you're a buyer, what do we do with all this information? If you're a seller, what do you do with this? Here's my recommendation. Always start by planning on what works for you and your family. In other words, don't buy based on speculation of are things gonna go up or down or whatever. At the end of the day, it's impossible to have the crystal ball and things can change, as we know, super quickly. So the best thing you can do is make decisions for your family, not based on what's happening with the market. The second thing I would say is if you're a buyer right now, prices have reverted back to like 2 years ago. So you have 2 years of built-in savings of like, go out now, buy something. Yes, interest rates are higher, but you've got an amazing opportunity to go out and get something that is a product that other people were just paying 30, 40% more for. So you'll have some built-in equity when the market does bounce back. And then further to that, if you're a buyer, we're in a buyer's market. This is when you really should be consulting with a realtor. Give me a call. You should be consulting with your mortgage broker and having those conversations to know what your best move is. If you're a seller, here's what I think about selling in this market. This is actually when you as a seller, even though the market's down, you have an opportunity to make your property extremely attractive. A lot of sellers and realtors have gotten used to the idea of just throwing a house up on the market, expecting it to sell for a ton, but not doing the work on that house that's really required to make that product, that house, look phenomenal. If you separate yourself by making your house look amazing, making sure that it looks awesome when people walk through, it smells great, it feels great, it's been staged, set up, cleaned, photographed, videoed, and like all these details, you will make your home stand out so much. And if you're planning on selling in this market and buying, I actually think this is an amazing opportunity. I think it's such an amazing opportunity, and I've never done this before, but if you wanna see my house that's actually up for sale because of how much I believe in this, click right here, check it out, my house listed on the market. We sold it conditionally in 3 days, and we sold it based on someone else's home being sold that I am now the agent selling. And the reason I'm telling you this is we really set my home up to be separate from the rest of the market. We got our asking price and we were able to sell quickly in a downward market. So if you're a seller, I actually think strategy now matters more than ever, and that strategy will yield you equity in the home exchange process where you're selling for more than the rest of the market, and we're gonna negotiate way down because a lot of agents aren't able to sell houses right now and they just wanna do deals. And if we can get you in a situation where we can find a house you really like, pull it way down on price and push your home up, even though it's not gonna be as much as it could have been back in February when things are crazy, that price difference will create a lot of opportunity. Whereas before your house sold for a lot, but then you also had to buy for a lot of money. And the difference between those two was really small. Whereas now it's a little bit bigger, okay? So pick up the phone, give me a call, 289-216-6852. Click the description down below. You can email us, stay in touch. We hope you love these videos. And if you wanna see more market stats videos or you want to see that explainer, click here, check out the explainer. It walks you through understanding all the terminology that we use today because we're moving super fast. So guys, that's it. Here's the breakdown for today. Drop your comments below. I wanna hear what you're thinking about. I wanna hear your questions. We're more excited than ever to help you find your dream home, whether it's this house, that house, or the next one. We're gonna help you find your dream place. Jake Nicolle here, signing out. Cheers, guys.